Folks, good evening. Welcome back to the program. Chris, live here in Central Florida. Anybody out there can hear me? Just give me a quick heads up. I want to make sure that you can actually hear me. I'm waiting for this thing to go live here. There it is. Let me see if I can hear myself on here as soon as it loads. What is this? Believe in. Okay. What is this? All right, that's working. Cool. Well, I'll handle that as long as I can here, folks, but it is getting hot in this room very quickly and sticky. I turned the aircon off. It was like a jet engine. If you don't mind, I'll turn it back on, but it's going to be a little distracting for me. But let's do that after we have our opening AI music tonight, folks. Paula. Hey, Arctic, what's up, man?
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. She's got a game right, stories unfold. Pala pala, ritzy joy, glimmer and gold. Stay overnight, don't you stray. Couch cushions hide a rainy day. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey.
Cyril, lots of trouble coming away, brother.
Antelope roam where the moonlight beams, luxury whispers and velvet dreams. Sarah laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme, hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You never know till you're caught in the stream. Pala pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day.
Oh, yeah, Cyril, Pala come back to haunt you. Yeah, that's impeachment's coming soon, buddy. Where the secrets play, under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey. Nothing like a little bit of reggae news going on a Sunday night. After a 3-day hiatus, no night owls, Friday, Saturday, Thursday night. Did I have one? Yeah, Friday and Saturday, just 2 nights. I thought it was 3 nights. All right, guys, as soon as the song's over, I'm putting the aircon on because this is unbearable. All right, so I got to go put the aircon on because just in like less than 5 minutes, I've already become incredibly uncomfortable. So bear with me tight. All right, I'll be right back. Whew, man, that didn't take long. Whew. Let me turn that jet engine back on. My goodness, it got hot in here in just 3-4 minutes like that. Look at the ice here in my room. That was full of ice 10 minutes ago. And there's only a couple ice cubes at the top already. That's crazy. Anyway, folks, welcome back to the program. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry for the 2-day hiatus, but I am down here visiting folks in the Central Florida area. Started off, landed in Orlando, stayed overnight because I got here late, drove in the morning to Palm Harbor. We had a meet and greet at Palm Harbor, a lovely event. 50 South Africans plus showed up there, and that wasn't everybody. Some drove up from Port St. Lucie and other places in Sarasota. Thank you very much for that, making the effort. Then drove down with Yana to St. Petersburg, which is where she lives. And we had another meet and greet there. About 30 people came to that one. Thank you all for coming to that. But that wasn't everybody. It was a number of people. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there around the world. My mom has passed away a few years ago, but happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And it's still Mother's Day here on the East Coast of the United States. Arctic says Sarasota is overrun by South Africans. Yeah, well, a few of them came up to join. And not everybody came was a refugee. There were a few folks who just South Africans came. So 50 and then 30, that's 80 yesterday. Then I stayed overnight at MacDill Air Force Base so I could give instructions to Central Special Operations Command on how to restart the war tomorrow. Stayed at MacDill overnight, drove through the heart of Tampa. That was interesting. Very clean city. I hadn't been there in a very long time. The last time I've been in Tampa Bay was 1994, so 32 years. So it's interesting. I've been to Orlando 4 years ago, but I haven't been to Tampa Bay in 32 years. The traffic has got awful. By the way, the Canadiens just won a game. They've taken a 2-1 lead over the Buffalo Sabres, much to the dismay of Buffalo fans, but to the joy of fans in Montreal, where they just won. And this game came late after about 5 minutes of game time. It's Vegas Golden Knights on the road in Anaheim. And this is Vegas leading series 2-1. But now Montreal leads that series 2-1. So Vegas leading here, trying to go to 3-1 lead tonight without their captain, Mark Stone. But William Karlsson's back in the lineup after being out most of the season. So, winter will be cold there, Bourblom, but Minnesota, it will be all right in the summertime. So, St. Petersburg, 80, then overnight. Went to Tampa today and did a meet and greet this morning at 10:30, stayed till 1:30. That was epic. That was about 50 people again, so 40 plus, almost 50. So we'll just add that to the 80, makes 130. And then came to back to Orlando. I took the long route. I went north to avoid the traffic, but ran into a summer squall, spring squall, which was brutal. The raindrops and had to slow down. And then took a county road, and man, they're building everywhere in Florida. There's not going to be any soil left in this ground. There's going to be so many people down here. This Middleton and some other place, and slowing down to 35 all the time, going on a country road, which used to be 55 all the way, but now there's houses and golf courses and retail places all over the place. They're building it. You can see where they laid out entire hundreds of acres of, the electric and the power lines and the water lines have already been run. One side, they've already got all the things. The other one, they marked where they're going to put it. It's out of control growth here in Florida. And then I wound up going back to Orlando, and then I went to the meet and greet there and had a nice time there. It was the smallest one we had. It was about 15 people. So add that to the 130. That's about 140, just under 150 South Africans I met this week. And in Florida, unfortunately, I have to fly back tomorrow. I know people wanted me to go to Miami, but it just wasn't possible. There aren't flights that get me to Fort Lauderdale and back in time. And so tomorrow I'll be interviewed by Alex Newman. At least that's the plan. Around noontime, I got to zip down to the airport very quickly and catch my flight. I'm already checked in there. So, yeah. Okay. So, So I got some lovely gifts from South Africans. Let me start with, just a second. I got to grab something. So the first gift was actually something fascinating. A young viewer gave this to me at one of the meet and greets. And this was, I think, just to encourage me and not let me be discouraged by the scumbags who lie and steal my content, and these bigots and idiots who don't know what they're talking about. So Chris, uns ist baie lief für jou. When dealing with the worst, the weak, and the most immature among us, those who lie and hurt, consider the greatest man whom walked this earth, whom being God in his very nature washed the feet of his brothers at age 33, knowing full well that no amount of brotherhood would stop what's about to happen next, knowing the human heart is desperately sick, for our transgressors he will be smitten. And please remember Isaiah 53. That was really uplifting and really very kind of that young man to give that to me. Thank you so much for that. You know who you are. That meant a lot to me. I really appreciate it. That meant a lot to me. I don't wear my faith on my sleeve, but that was really, really, really nice. And it reminded me that, the haters, the hate wankers, just, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. So today, on top of that awesome gift, I got a physical gift that was really this. So some of you, you're going to eat your hearts out. You're absolutely going to eat your hearts out because this is incredible. Now, when it was given to me, the gift giver said, well, I know that you don't like cricket. Well, I don't have anything against cricket. I just like to make fun of cricket. But I actually enjoy watching a game of cricket, particularly one-day internationals. So this is super cool. So De Villiers, the De Villiers brothers. Check that out. Okay. All right. And then check this out. Fonny De Villiers. Autographed cricket ball. Eat your heart out, cricket fans. This was an incredible gift. I'm sure I don't deserve it, but it was awesome. Look at that, man. Look at that. The cricket ball autograph. That is unbelievable. What an incredible gift. Someone brought this all the way from South Africa who cherished this and gave this to me. This will take a place of prominence that I'm very grateful for. And for a weekend, I'll stop picking on cricket just because of this autographed cricket ball. I never in my wildest dreams ever imagined such a kind gift. Great cricket balls of fire. No biltong gifts. Happens can't afford rum steak, says Mark. Okay, so that's an incredible gift. I mean, that was amazing. And then tonight, I got some pretty unique gifts from one of my viewers who is not a refugee, but a South African who lives and works here in America. And I got this limited edition. I think 100 or 200 of these were made. And this is a Paul Kruger 200th anniversary from 1825 to 2025. So check out this coin that was struck. He had these made. It's Paul Kruger. Check that out. It's okay, Johan Barkhuizen. I'm sorry. I know you were trying. It won't be my only trip to Florida. I'll be back. I'll try to do Fort Lauderdale and down south next time. And then on the back, he's got the Orania little boy and the statue of Paul that is at Orania. So that's pretty cool. That is a very unique gift. Only like 200 of these. This is my Krugerrand, except that's not gold, guys. But still, what an incredible gift. This is very kind. I appreciate that. And then because the person gave it to me is in aviation, he also gave me something that's kind of what aviators have. So this is bag tag, or when you are when you have your bag going aircraft, or they tag things on the wings and such. So check it out. Volksstadt. I know that's probably backwards for the audience. Let me see how it looks over here. I'm trying to see if it's backwards or if it's straight on. Yeah, it's backwards. So it says Volksstadt, and on the other side it says Orania. And it's got a keychain hook on it, but it's also a tag just like you put on an aircraft. So check it out. Got a snap link on there, and so I could use this as a bag tag. So that'll piss off the racists in the ANC. Got 2 of them. Isn't that a pretty cool gift, man? Wow, that is really nice. Thank you so much for those kind gifts. I do appreciate that. And the best gift was the spirit of brotherhood and the camaraderie I spent with South Africans again this weekend. It was really awesome. Thank you all so much for meeting with me. Those who made effort to get to me, I really do appreciate that. Whether you came on foot or if you had to pay an Uber, I really feel bad about that. But that's why I tried to go to people as best I could. It was epic, and I'm glad I made the trip down here. Up on the agenda soon will be New England, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts and Connecticut, probably meeting in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire. I'm not sure I'll get to Connecticut. People can come up there, so we'll see how that goes. But now I've been to Birmingham, Alabama, Twin Falls, Idaho, Riverdale, Maryland, Rochester, New York, Dallas, Texas, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York. What else? Have I missed any? No, except for Florida. Now Tampa. So I've been to Palm Harbor, St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Orlando. 4 more I add to that. So yeah. I think Arctic is drinking. He's trying to tell me he told you that Florida isn't only for bad old folks. I think that's what he's trying to say. Ozzy rugged the World Cup next year for the Blade birthday. Okay, Mark, that'll be awesome, man. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I've got tickets to all 3, or a ticket to all 3 of the Springboks pool stage game and what should be their first round knockout stage. Yep. Francois Thron says, "Who's old?" Yannicka Funsale says, "It was really nice meeting you, Mr. Chris." Yes, Yannicka. Is this Yannicka, Loretta's daughter, Yannicka, that I met today? I'm assuming that's who it is. Thank you for being my champion there in Tampa, helping set that up, and others who set it up. I'm sorry I couldn't stay for the braai, but it was a full 2 hours to get here. I got here with 20 minutes to spare. I did a recon of the site here. Nobody was there at the time. So I went to Costco to tank up and fill up my petrol because it was about 15 cents a gallon cheaper at Costco. And I bought myself a tray of shrimp. So I have some snacks for tonight and breakfast tomorrow morning. Yep. So I got myself, oh, it opens this way, so I can't open it. If there's a fridge in here. Yep. So I got some of the shrimp. Iowa Mental Chewing Gum. I need to this week host a Zoom session with a filmmaker from the UK who's a South African. My plan is to get to Wisconsin, South Dakota, and possibly Iowa on a trip. He's going to pay for the travel up there. So, and we'll travel together. So that's coming up probably in June. So, yeah. So that's on the agenda. If there were some of you in Alaska, maybe I'd go to Alaska, but there aren't really any folks up there. Just the first one batch went through there. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. We've got, let me go back as far as I can because I've been chatting for a little bit here. I've had this really awesome, I had this really awesome conversation with a gentleman from New York, a New Yorican. For those who don't know, that's a nickname for Puerto Ricans who live in New York. He doesn't live there anymore, but that's where he grew up, from Puerto Rico. We had a fascinating conversation about China and about stuff, and so he became a subscriber tonight. Thank you, Santiago, for becoming a subscriber. Also, the gentleman behind the bar was fascinated. Thank you for that. Sarasota Springs, New York. Or Saratoga Springs, excuse me. I didn't even know anybody was over there, Devon. That's over on the eastern side of the towards the Hudson Valley. I've been to Rochester and Buffalo already. I haven't been to Syracuse on this. I've been there in the past, but not for the refugees. Francois Thron, CB's here. Alex is in from Ohio. Hey, Alex. Candace, Karen Long, how are the cats doing? I have 2 ex-feral cats, still afraid of strangers. Yeah. No, they'll always be that way. It's a defense mechanism. Prince was always afraid of people, even afraid of me. I'd be very careful with him. It's 1-1 now. Vegas and Anaheim have both scored on just 5 and 6 shots apiece. That's pretty low shot number, so they must have broken through. Vegas on the offense. William Karlsson passed the ball up to the point from the blue line. There it comes down on the near side. Puck is missed, and the Ducks get over there. They've got possession now, and they're going to clear it from the zone. No, Vegas got it back, but no, what a bad pass. And Anaheim comes across blue line, center ice across the Vegas blue line. The puck is in the zone, and it gets out. Vegas on the offense and now back the other direction. But once again, poor puck management. All right, so Jean-Bobby Jean Bex is here. Arctic is in. Dylan Combrick, another OG. Art Queen Liza. I got to see Art Queen Liza today. Thank you so much. I enjoyed that. Fantastic. But that was an interesting meet and greet. Usually I have to fill the air, but not tonight. We had lots of people had lots to say. So, yeah. What's this? Arctic is, what are you complaining about? Arctic is looking in the mirror telling himself to stop whining, old man. Why are you whining? Armor Williams, welcome to Elanza Simmons, NVD, Pat Schultz, Trippy. Who else we got here? Bourblom, Angela Mills, East Coast Ostrich. By the way, are you guys hearing that jet engine back there, that air conditioning unit? Man, that thing is industrial strength. Gina Moulman's in from the Mountain State. How's it going out there in the gem state of Idaho? Mental Chewing Gum is back. East Coast Ostrich. Madeline gave us 70 Rand super chat. Thank you for that. Sandy, what's up from San Antonio? Wait till August. San Antonio. Good luck with that. Riverwalk will be your friend. Utopi's in. Hey, what's going on? First live in a long time. Yeah, where have you been, man? Working? And then who else we got here? Alan Gill is in from Oklahoma. Cyril's out. Don't stress. South Africa won't run out of leaders. Exactly. Hisigi, what's up with you? Andre Mostart. Candace is back. Fluffy Naval. Janet Liddy's in from South Carolina. How you doing, Janet? Paul DeClerc. NYDM. Okay, hello. Oh, NVDM. I thought they said NY. And then it's like NVIDIA. Okay. And then Cecilia Krug is here. Teddy Corolla, welcome to you from Rustenburg. Why not? Hello to you. And then Madeline, happy Mother's Day. All right, I'm catching Kathy Price is here. Yep, good evening, says Karen. It's such impressive hot drive Bergwin. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, and Mark Feldman, a commission report by a judge with tender fraud and corruption evidence, nothing. No one goes to jail. Money's in a Swiss bank offshore. Well, that sucks. Angela Mills, will you do a meet and greet North Carolina? Yeah, North Carolina was one of the first places I intended to go because Thea von Straten was there, and they had a bunch of people. North Carolina, though, I'm going to have to fly because that drive is just too brutal for me. So I'm going to have to plan a North Carolina trip. But yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina would be the plan. There's a number of people in both states. So yeah, that's on the agenda as well. And I'm only one guy. I can only do so many things at a time. As it is, I'm missing my rugby. I didn't get to cover this Stormers game this weekend. I would have been out of control, mad at how many times they muffed up tries. Madeline says, Colonel, when will you have a meet and greet in North Carolina? Well, that's what I was just saying. Thank you for 40 Rand. Virtual case assistant when refugees get placed with U.S. ties. That means you won't see your case assistant. They'll just be on the telephone or email or text or WhatsApp. You will not see them. We've had virtual case assistants when people wind up in places remote and there's no refugee agency nearby. So the people went to Montana among the 59ers in May of last year. They had a virtual case assistant, and they had all kinds of problems. So it's not ideal. It can be if you've got a good case officer. Apocalypse Ninja, thanks for amazing visit. Apocalypse Ninja is vying to be one of those folks. Thank you for the $5. That is in competition for the most meet greets. He easily went to 2 meet greets this weekend. Thank you for your attendance. Great cricket balls of fire. Yep, that was from earlier. Okay. Holden Caulfield here. So why do those cricket batters wear those legs? Because those balls, they aim for the legs and they hurt like hell. And then Armour loves the Kruger. Okay. Charles Van Olsen's here, the voice of reason. Arctic is here. And it's Yannicka. Okay. And I'm down here now. Catching back up. Okay, Botman's here. What's up, Jared? I'm doing okay. You having any luck searching for work? Faithful Farmer, JSA Africa. And then, Yannick is his mom. So Loretta must have popped in here. All right, Loretta, you never told me she was married, man. Huge disappointment. Huge disappointment. I showed up and, she was there and then she starts talking about a husband. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Anyway. But seriously, Veroshka, what's going on? How you doing? Okay, so I'm almost through greeting everybody. There's Loretta. Did you manage to give my grandson a big hug? I gave hugs, but I don't remember seeing your grandson, Loretta. Karen says, really great commentary. You really get the passion across. Remember the days of radio commentating sports events as a kid. Yeah, no, I love doing the play-by-play and color commentary on rugby. Oops, looks like Anaheim just scored again. Or is that a replay? I don't know if that's a replay. I hope that's a replay from earlier. I think maybe the first period must have just ended. Nope, they just scored. It's 2-1 Anaheim. That sucks. Okay. Why not live in Seattle? I don't like Seattle. Nice place to visit, not my place to live. Be flying into Texas soon. We must meet up somehow. I fly to Newark. On to South Africa. Trust the pilot, don't we? Yeah, I don't want to be in a bread truck. That's a good one. And then Madeline says, will you still do meet in North Korea? Are you covering that yet? Is there a plan to visit Oklahoma? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests to go to Oklahoma, but that's not an easy one, folks. It's not exactly on the main path of anything. Apocalypse Ninja, thank you for the $5. Botman, sir. Can you join the Border Security Patrol? I don't think so. I could be wrong. I think you have to be an American citizen, but I may be wrong. Can you come to South Bend? We're okay. Andre, I have to think about that. That's a long drive. Email when you get a chance. I'll be visiting Hanover later this month. Hanover's not too far from me, Bex. Okay, so you may have to remind me because I'm on the road, and when I get home, I can take a look at that. Yep. Yannicka says, I didn't take him. It's too hot for an 18-month-old. Yeah, like I said, I didn't think I saw him there. Okay. Yeah, it was hot. All right, cool. Bellevue to be specific. Oh, Bellevue's nice. Yeah, Bellevue's nice. Why not? Yeah, exactly. I like Bellevue. All right, cool beans. There's light rain here tonight. I don't see him. He's our resident, Washington State resident there. Looks like a fight from the hockey game. Surprise, surprise. All right. So I did a Biz News interview this morning. I don't know if I got a chance to watch that. We talked about Cyril Ramaphosa's Concord decision, Constitutional Court, and the likelihood of impeachment, as well as President Trump and the Iran conflict, among others. Fascinating. People keep repeating the leftist canard about Trump being convicted of felonies. Trump's never been convicted of felony. 34 counts for business business fraud. They're not felony convictions. Also, it's a consequence of being the head of a company. He didn't commit the fraud, but as the director and the head of the company, he bore the responsibility. I love watching the retarded leftists who come with their nonsense that don't, they don't, we actually had Bill Clinton commit a felony. He perjured himself in front of Congress. That's a felony. No one ever calls Clinton a felon, but he is a felon. Well, thank you for watching that, Kathy. I thought it was pretty good too. And so did Karen. Okay. So people forget that. I'm also still doing things with other channels and working with other people and helping other people out. So, yep, that's all going on at the same time. Carol Ann says, thank you for your time. Love meeting you. Thank you for everyone that arranged the meetings. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So we had Yana in Palm Harbor, which, by the way, is a very nice complex where they live at. Although the manager tried to give us a hard time. Who are all these people? What are you doing? It's only for residents. And I said, your sign says residents and guests. Yeah, well, these people, they can't all be here. And I said, they're all residents. No, they're not. And I said, yes, they are. And I walked out the door. I said, everyone here that's a resident of this complex, please walk inside. And 85% of the people standing outside, 38 people, walked inside. Yeah, rude biatch. Very rude. I'm just trying to start trouble. This woman was trying to be difficult. So we went to a different place. We moved to the smaller pool. Screw her. Anyway, but Yana set that up. And then she also set up St. Petersburg. And then Yannicka set up the one today. And I don't know who set the one up here in Orlando this afternoon, but I got there. We started at 4 and I left at 7:45. So Charles watched the business thing. Okay. We will finally move into our permanent residence on June 1st, which means we stayed almost 10 weeks in our temp. That's a long time, Neff. Mad Max. Well, there weren't any night owls, Mad Max, on Friday or Saturday because last night I was knackered. And it was kind of sucks because the air conditioning there was also loud, but it blew right onto the bed, so it was hitting my neck. I had to find a happy medium because you couldn't turn it off between hot and cold. And I found a spot where it kind of stabilized and it didn't blow as much. How can I contact you? We would love to do a refugee interview. We're a family of 10 people. Good God, you did make me look, man. So send me an email, or if you have me on WhatsApp, send me a note there. I had 2 more people today from down here from Tampa offer to do interviews, and I told them to remind me. I've got a stack of people who've offered, and some people might feel slighted because I've brought other people in, but don't be. I get to people. I'm still trying to do Otopi's daughter, who's in Iowa. So it's hard to do everything on the road, Charles. I've done rugby play-by-play on the road, but I can't post things because I don't have the software. I'm not using streaming software. I'm using YouTube software, so I have to just type it in and then pin it to the top, and people complain about that, but. Look, I do the best I can. Again, I'm not getting paid to do this, so I do the best I can. There's Mad Max with the email. I need to be a resident. I think you need to be a citizen to join the Border Patrol. I could be wrong. I'm open to correction on that. Faithful Farmer says, I'm a left-winger, and it's so tired of being surrounded by idiots. Trump derangement syndrome is so real. I want to fix things, and they want to complain. Well, Faithful Farmer, thank you for being here. And there's nothing, and I hope you don't take offense when I attack leftists all the time. There are people left of center who are normal people who care and they're patriots for their country. Unfortunately, that's not Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has lost its mind. And most people that I've come across on the left have lost their minds, which is unfortunate because we can't have a cogent conversation. I didn't know you were on the left side of the wing there, Faithful Farmer. Thank you for sharing that. I am slightly right of center. So. But I've been telling people that all along. But never mind the fact that I'm slightly right of center politically. I'll still be called a white supremacist and all other insults from ignorant buttholes who don't know what they're talking about. Trying out the colonel skills. DD1, thanks for all that you do. Sorry to ask, but I'm desperate. My son and I signed up with the program, started, did all the steps together. He flies tomorrow, but my profile stuck. New in progress. I'm not sure what you want me to do, DD1. You can send me an email and explain your situation with your case number and his case number, and then tell me what's going on. But I mean, that's not helpful. It's not a complaint. I'm just saying it's not helpful what you're saying there. But you only have so many characters, so send an email and be more specific about what's going on. When you say you signed up, I assume you did a PRM email and a statement of interest, and then you did the intake questionnaire. I assume you have. Otherwise, your son wouldn't have got here if you didn't do those steps. Incredibly stressed, they will deny me even though I have no criminal record or red flag. No, they won't deny you if you're a legitimate candidate. Now, if you lie to them, they'll deny you because you're ineligible. If you get caught in a lie, they'll deny you. If you defraud them, they'll deny you. But other than that, if you're eligible, you're going to come over or you're going to be approved. It takes time. Caroline says, Florida's like Satan breathing on you. Oh, you think it's bad now? It's May. Wait till June, July. May is Comic-Con in Oklahoma City. Really? May 22nd. No, I can't be there. May 19th, I'm a judge of elections. And then I got Memorial Day. I can't go anywhere. So I won't be traveling at that time frame. I'll be in Pennsylvania. Remember, folks, I'm also a judge. So I have to attend to the elections. It's Hades' interest, says Mad Max. Well, it's definitely something. It was hot in Richmond today. I think it was cooking in Florida. Yeah, well, it was 95. That's what the thermometer said on my vehicle. Yep. How can I get your WhatsApp number? Well, you can't, Divin. If you don't have it already, you can get my email. I don't have time to answer phone numbers from 80,000 people. Apologies. If I need to talk to you by WhatsApp, then I'll ask for your number, but you can send me an email. But remember, folks, I have a lot of emails. I do my best to get through them. Henry Holtz, U.S. citizenship is a mandatory requirement. Yeah, I would expect so because you're a federal law enforcement official. Must be U.S. citizens, need to be under the age of 40. Thank you, Henry. That's tracking. What bot, man? What are you doing? Why are you super chatting me, man? Thank you for the $1. Keep your money. Not that I don't want your money, but you've got more to do. 94 degrees. We're in California, Utopia, San Diego. So that's hot. Serving numbers in is bad enough. I can imagine. Oh, Florida's worse than Durban. Trust me. It's worse. Yep. Boerblom is, I'll handle the winter. Well, Minneapolis, you have to handle Somalis too, so be careful. Phoenix, 103 degrees. That's normal. Yep. Fingerprints last week, says Sharon. How's it going, Sharon? All right, so that's what's going on in my world. Like I said, I met a very fascinating gentleman tonight named Santiago. If I'm bad with names, hopefully that was his name. I hope I didn't butcher everybody. But New Eurekan, we chatted about China and about a bunch of other stuff because I was playing my business unit because I hadn't had a chance to hear it. I wanted to see how it came out. And he heard it and he started talking to me. We chatted a lot about China and about Africa. And he was interested, so he subscribed to my channel. Thanks for that. And again, thanks for the cricket ball. This is awesome. Really awesome gift. Also the tags, the wing tags for the aviation, which I can use for my bags. That's pretty cool. And also this really cool, unique, minted Paul Kruger 200th anniversary coin with the Aranya on the back. It's really nice. And then the letter that I got from the young man. So thank you for that. Tomorrow I have a very interesting thing happening. I have to do an application for a job at the clinic. Well, that's cool, Bot Man. Good luck with your interview. Good luck with that. Okay, let's all wish Jared good luck on his interview. Okay. Okay, cool beans. Well, yeah, Arctic, everybody complains about the weather, not just South Africans, man. Oh, Boerblum noticed. Okay. Why not? Said, I just subbed for the reason you're a colonel. Okay, well, thanks for that. Why not? Are you a veteran of some sort? Thank you for that. Yep. Faithful Farmer really enjoyed the stream that Matt Max and I did from his place in Virginia. So I didn't see the apartments of the people in Tampa, but I understand it's not the best. But I saw the neighborhood they're in. Initially, when I got there, I thought it was illegal for white people to be there. It's the only white guy in the neighborhood. This is on the main route and through that part of Tampa. I'm like, okay, I guess I must be out of my element. I'm not allowed here. But I went to the park and I did a recon and I had time, and so I wanted to get some petrol. So I went back looking for Costco. They said there was a Costco near me. There's no Costco. It was a Burlington Coat Factory. So then I found a petrol station. I went into the petrol station, and there was this awesome clerk. And what happened is I topped off, but there was no paper in the machine. So I had to go inside to get my receipt. I went inside, and this lady was like, 2 feet tall, some Hispanic lady who was like 1,000 years old. She wanted lottery tickets, and she doesn't speak English. Obviously, somebody doesn't bother to try to integrate or assimilate into this country. God knows how long she's been here. but she's speaking Spanish. And the poor guy behind the counter, this black guy, is like, God, what the hell are you saying, lady? He didn't say it like that, but he's like trying to understand her. And finally, this younger couple standing there. Now, she's wearing flip-flops and a hairnet over her head. I'm like, can people not dress to go out in public? What the hell? This is not your bedroom. Anyway, so finally they asked her in Spanish, because I understood. So, ma'am, what are you looking for? What do you want? And she explained, and then she said in English she wants two $2 tickets. So the poor black guy, he gets the two $2. So she comes to our country. She refuses to learn our language. God knows how long she's lived here. And she's playing the lottery to win our lottery money, but she can't learn English. And the poor black guy is just doing the best he can on a Sunday, just trying to get by. I'm like, I got to talk that with my ex. Okay, all right, why not? No, that's fine. Not everybody does serve. In fact, a small number of people do serve. So this poor black guy, man. So I was waiting, and he said something about something, and he looked up at me. I said, no, I'm just looking for my receipt. You're number 4. There's no paper. He goes, oh, I'm really sorry about it. I said, no, it's all right, man. It happens. It's okay. Just take your time. He's like, yeah, you're very nice and considerate. I said, no, that's all right. It's fine. So I said, you got your hands full with the Spanish. He smiled, printed my receipt, gave it to me, and I left. So then I went across the street to the Starbucks, and that was a completely different world. Everybody in there was white. There were no Hispanics and no black folks, all white folks. It's like night and day from one side of the road to the other. Yeah, you can play the lotto. Well, she might be a legal resident, but she's refused to learn English. The woman's like 1,000 years old. I'm thinking, you can't speak words of English to this kid? Anyway, but she did it, they do it out of arrogance. They speak Spanish out of arrogance when they know that people don't speak Spanish. Anyway, so she probably does know some English. Anyway, so at the Starbucks, I had to wait for my drink. Some lady came in, and she ordered all these drinks in a caddy, and she had it full. And then she had another coffee. And so I said, let me help you carry that. I went out to the car, a nice BMW SUV, and her mom was in the car. Mom must have been in her 70s, maybe older. And they were going to church, so I gave her mom her coffee, and they thanked me. I said, no, it's okay. And I went back in and got my drink, and then went to the park. Yeah, and we had a meet and greet. Isn't Trump flooding all the swing states, South Africans? Trump has turned out to be the most incompetent president of my lifetime. Well, Azra, thank you for your opinion, but you offer no basis for your opinion. And is Trump flooding the states? There are 6,000 South Africans here, and they can't vote. So how are they flooding the swing states? 6,000? That's not enough to turn any election. That's spread out over 40 plus states, or 30 states. Azra obviously is here to troll. So mods, pay attention. Anyway, most incompetent president of our time. How is he incompetent? I'll play your game. Tell me how he's incompetent. Do all states require you to provide someone with driver license, registration, insured car that will escort you when you go for the drive? Well, you can't drive to the event unless you have a temporary learner's permit, and then you have to have a licensed driver in the car with you, and you have to have insurance. So I'm not sure what your question is, but yes, basically, yes. Arctic says, flooding the states, holy shit, tells us you're a moron without telling us you're a moron. Yep. Spice Nagel, 5 hours ago. What are you talking about? Hi from the hospital bed. Well, if that's true, congratulations. But people with a learner's permit have to have a licensed drive with them. What do I think of crypto? I think it's speculative. Would you like to invest in tulip bulbs? English should long have been the official language. It's embarrassing. We're the only industrialized nation in the world without an official language. It's embarrassing. Now, I can say this fully because, when they try to attack me and say, oh, you're just a lazy American, you're a white supremacist. No. I speak 6 languages, 3 of them African. Oh, here we go. He covered up the Epstein files. Nope, he didn't. Trump released the Epstein files. He released more than the Trump Biden administration. So we're going to play this game with Azra because it needs to be said. Trump released the Epstein files. He didn't cover up the Epstein files. And almost every person exposed the Epstein files as a Democrat or a Brit. So wrong there. He started a new war. Nope. Nope. 1979, Iran started this war, and no president engaged them. They murdered 241 Americans in Beirut. They've murdered thousands of Americans. They've disabled Americans. They've destroyed the lives and dismembered Americans for decades. So wrong again. No mass deportations. There are no mass deportations. Trump has not deported more people than Barack Hussein Obama. So thanks for playing. 12,000 warehouses in the country. Only one has been raided. Warehouses? What are you talking about? What warehouses? Well, thanks for playing. You won't be here much longer because you're trolling. Not one fact. Not one fact. Just propaganda. Trump is the only president that released Epstein files. Biden didn't release a single file in 4 years. But I didn't hear you crying about that then, buddy. Yeah, exactly, Arctic. Dumb and Dumber special hour. He declassified the Epstein files. He released hundreds of thousands of documents. Yep. Sometimes I think Trump is trying to crash the dollar with the hormone stuff and simultaneously entire families investing in crypto. That doesn't make any sense. Why not? Are you trolling? Because first off, Trump's media company just lost a ton of money, a crap load of money on crypto. They bought at 118 and sold at 70,000. So that argument doesn't even pass muster. Doesn't pass muster. Opinions are fine. Absence of brain cells isn't. Agreed. Yeah, it doesn't. That argument. See this. I mean, our IQ is being dumbed down tonight. Well, I refuse to speak Spanish in my country. Almost everything is redacted in the files. That's not true. Did you bother to read the files? I did. Almost everything. No, that's nonsense. Nonsense. First off, for those of you who complain about redaction, you know nothing about investigations, criminal investigations, or intelligence. As a federal law enforcement official for over 3 decades and as an intelligence analyst for just as long, I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Spanish is a big problem in Miami. Most difficult in explaining your symptoms. Spanish doctor does not understand what Spanish use factor in daily lives. Yep. Yeah, no, I don't live in Little Cuba, which is Miami. I've been there. And the only thing Cuban I enjoy there is a Cuban sandwich. Anyway, so what's happening in the world, folks? Did the war start again? I'm arguing for the war to start again. Senior crime intelligence official Major General Firoz Khan and the head of the Hawks, Major General Kadwa, have been arrested for allegedly dealing in unlawful possession of precious metals. Well, looky there. More corrupt ANC cadres. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, the junior box won. Congratulations. I didn't see that. It's not frustration. Coach Foot is unfazed by New Zealand. South Africa under-20 coach Kevin Foote said they weren't frustrated by the fact they couldn't beat New Zealand. What's that? Oh, they lost. Oh, it was a draw. South Africa drew 29-29, securing their first under-20 rugby championship title on the back of 2 early wins against Argentina. They've yet to beat them in the under-20 rugby championship. So they didn't win, they draw, but they win the title. Okay. Congratulations to the Baby Bucks. Bye-bye, Azra. Don't bother coming back. You've been given a timeout. Hetty McCarthy, what's going on with you? Charles Edward Koch? Mad Max. Looks like a cup of beer at Loftus that you're drinking there. Oh, yeah, because it looks watered down. It's iced tea. All the ice melted, and so it's kind of weakened down. It's kind of thinned out. 1 million sealed indictments. I know nothing about that. Yeah, they drew the match, but they win the title. Santa Ana could not get a job because we can't speak Spanish. We migrated out there to Saratoga and loving it here. Okay. I don't know if Ron Paul will be prosecuted. He will definitely be investigated for, hang on a second, Colorado beat Minnesota. Carolina took out Philadelphia. Okay, yep. So Carolina is the first in a conference championship. Still 3 teams to be named. Buffalo and Montreal, and then Vegas or Anaheim, and Colorado or Minnesota. I'd say probably it's going to be Colorado and Vegas that move on, I hope, anyway. Eat a Stanley Cooler. It's mandatory. Flip-flops. Yeah, I think that he's definitely going to be impeached. Wife and I passed our driver's test Thursday. Now we just need to find someone with a licensed car to take us for the driving test. I'm sure you can find a neighbor or somebody that's willing to do it. Good to have you back, Colonel. Well, thank you, Sharon. I've been here. I haven't been doing live streams. I didn't have time to do the news because I was meeting with refugees and on the road. And I didn't have a phone holder to hold my phone up on the road. Otherwise, I would have done it from the car. Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have one of those. But be sure to hit the like button, folks, if you haven't done it. Alan says, isn't it ironic that we grew up on opposite sides of the pond? You like rugby and I like American football. Well, I used to love American football. But the racists in the National Football League ruined that for me. And the toleration of the racists who violated the players' collective bargaining agreement and the NFL did nothing to them, ruined it for me. So I don't really care for racists. And when the racist Colin Kaepernick took a knee insulting this country with his stupid lies about race relations in this country, that ruined it for me. When he wasn't punished for taking a knee in violation of the collective bargaining agreement and they tolerated it and he was venerated as a hero and Nike gave him this big contract, I lost interest in the NFL. It was a lot easier because Andrew Luck's career was terminated prematurely and the Colts sucked. But I lost interest in the National Football League. It's the National Crybabies League. Neth, the Florida visit is going very well, but we're about done. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably do a stream in the morning before I leave the hotel. Then I'm going to be interviewed, and then I have to rush back to the airport, turn my vehicle in, and get in the airport. But I've already checked into the airport, so good there. Juju conviction now, the ruling is from a post. I think there are others seeing the light. Yeah, Charles, I think there are others seeing the light. We don't know what the end result's going to be, and I'm not going to hold my breath about Malema serving any time in prison or Ramaphosa being convicted. But nonetheless, the world sees that Ramaphosa is under suspicion, so he can't hide that. He can try to hide it. Oh, that actress has gotten older. I haven't seen her in a while. She looks a lot older. She still looks good though. Can't think of her name. She's doing a commercial. Always loved her voice. Anyway, why would they put CIA headquarters in Leavenworth? I don't understand. There must be a joke there that I'm missing. Hope I can meet refugees in Vermont or New England. I'm always looking for opportunities to make new friends that could use a friend too. Well, that's right. You're in New England, aren't you? Faithful Farm, you going to come to my New Hampshire meet and greet? When is your next trip? Come on, my next trip to Florida? I'm still in Florida, man. Let me get out of here first before I plan my next trip. Given the high number of refugees down here, I'll probably make another trip. I don't think it'll be soon because I can't stand the heat down here or the humidity. I don't like Florida. Too many people, too much traffic, too humid, and any state where the highest piece of elevation is the landfill doesn't do it for me. Yeah, Flam, I got you. Tallahassee. Maybe Tallahassee might be part of a trip to Georgia or something like that. Marlies, yes, it was nice to meet you too. Thank you. I appreciate you coming. When JFK said 1,000 pieces, what's not to understand? I don't know what you're talking about, Holden Coffee. You're just pulling stuff out of left field here, man. We're not talking about JFK or about indictments. You said 1 million indictments. Right, there's one more FG in Florida than there is in California. But I don't like California. I lived in California. It's been ruined. It doesn't mean I won't come out, but I'm not going to L.A. I'll go to San Diego. I'm not going to L.A. Benton County, Arkansas. Okay. Can I ask what America means to you? To me, America is the Constitution. I respect the Constitution. I'll defend it. Well, why not? I did defend the Constitution for 36 years. I put my life in line in multiple combat tours. I risked my everything, including my existence, for the Constitution. I think that should tell you how I feel about the Constitution. Unfortunately, it's been perverted. The 14th Amendment's been perverted. The First Amendment's been serially broken by the Biden regime. And so the Constitution oftentimes doesn't mean jack. It's been pissed upon by our politicians who have not been held to account for their crimes against America. But what does America mean to me? Well, the Constitution is my guiding star. But America means a lot more than the Constitution. America means liberty. America means freedom. America means not living with the past that someone else created. You are not the product of your parents' sins or their parents' sins. You're your own man, your own woman. That's what America is. Well, Utopia, it's too far to drive unless I buy myself a caravan or a Winnebago or something like that to get a new vehicle. I'll tell you what, this GMC Acacia, I'm liking it, except there's a few things I don't like about it. But the comfort, the big vehicle on the road. Now, the little wussy engine's a little disappointing, but it does pick up the speed. But it's actually got much better gas mileage than anticipated. Maybe they've turbocharged that engine. I don't know. But I have to say that it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to fix the mess they made. What John Brennan Hospital did was treason. Yeah, we need back into the NSA. The CIA was never in the NSA. The NSA and CIA were created as a consequence of the National Defense Act in 1948. It was not part of the. The NSA does something completely different than the CIA does. America, the only thing that matters is your credit score and the color of your credit card. Yeah, no, well, you would travel around the Grand Canyon. You wouldn't be traveling, that's for sure. Yeah, California, no. OSS was part of the military. Yes, it was, but that's not NSA. NSA is the Signals Intelligence Organization. It was created by the National Security Act. Second period, 19 minutes left in the period, 2-1 Anaheim, and a face-off in the Vegas zone. All right. Arctic doesn't like San Diego. Well, the Constitution guarantees the state won't oppress our liberty, but it's been serially violated. For instance, the collusion of the Biden regime to censor my original channel in collusion with YouTube is a serial violation. They cajole, coerced, or colluded with tech giants to censor free speech. I didn't say one thing that was illegitimate, that was criminal, that was immoral, nothing. But they didn't like what I said because I told the truth about their scam with COVID. And they took my channel away at the behest of the federal government under Dr. Fraud and Joe Doofus Biden. And so I lost my channel and a source of income and suffered business reputation because of their nonsense. None of them have been charged with the crime of violating the First Amendment. At this stage, Colonel Wyatt is doing more meet and greets in the U.S. than some bands do on tour. South African fans just watching the live stream like it's a documentary. Hi, Rich, that's actually kind of true. I mean, look, so, Birmingham, Twin Falls, Rochester, Dallas, Riverdale, Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, Palm Harbor, St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Orlando. That's 15 places around the country. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I forgot Virginia, 15. Then I've got Kings Dominion, 16. Richmond, 17, and Harrisonburg, 18. I've done 18 events, 18 meet and greet locations around the country in the past several months. That is more than some bands do on tour. Holy Fire, you must be tardy. Someone already paid 40 Rand to ask about whether they're going to do a meet and greet in North Carolina. I said, yes, it's in the plans. It's not one I've talked about. Patriot Act wasn't so patriotic. I disagree. The Patriot Act was very patriotic. Unfortunately, it went too far. That's the problem. Things are bad with the IRC. Everyone is out migrating because of them. We keep no support, no caseworkers. Have you filed a complaint with the Office of Refugee Resettlement based on the format that I produced in my video, which the ORR is satisfied with? Have you filed a complaint against them? Grand Canyon, Northern Rim, 4x4 only way to enjoy it. Okay, thank God, Queen Liza. It's nice to share. Yeah, lots of water. My friend worked at a restaurant in Grand Canyon before he returned to journalism. Now in the Isle of Man, has often spent the week in London. I've been to the Isle of Man. I enjoyed it. It's land that time forgot, but it's interesting. Back in the 50s. Oh, Vegas finally scored. 2-2. 16 minutes left in the second period. Awesome. Let me see who's got this goal. Vegas Golden Knights just scored. Oh, it's Brett Howden. Let me see the goal. So they retreat back into their zone. Pass comes up inside the blue line. Behind the trapezoid. Out in front. Oh, okay. What a nice pass by William Karlsson. He was falling down. And he shot it right in front of right behind a guy's stick. And Brett Howden just got a piece of that and put it in net. That's awesome. William Karlsson, welcome back to the NHL after your long injury, man. Okay. New week. Let's hope good news this week, says James. Okay. Biden started that, although Trump is doing the same, or so it seems. Did what? Why not? What did Trump promise not to do? Yes, Willie Nelson. Yeah, but he was also smoking weed, so it was okay. And now they've issued a written warning and threatened to kick us off the program. Okay, hold on. Who has issued a warning to you and kick you off what program? The refugee program? Your agency has no authority to do that. They're just a bunch of scumbags. They're a contractor. They're not federal immigration. They can't kick you off anything. They threaten to kick you off the IRC, fine. Then report them to the Office of Refugee Resettlement. They're under contract. Don't let the bastards collect money for not providing service to you. Screw them. Screw them. Now, I've dealt with the IRC in Modesto, California, and the regional director was professional, and she solved the problem for a color family. Don't take this sitting down. Stand up and speak up for yourself. Okay, well, send it to me in writing. Let me see the letter. Let me see the letter. And I'll write to them as a journalist, and I'll ask them for a comment. I'd like to hear their comment. Send me the letter. Show me the money. Show me the money. Send me the letter. Mods, stick the email address in there. Put in the email IRC eviction letter or something like that, okay? All right, there it is. Charles Van Olsen just put the email there. Send me the email. That's right. Show me the dollar. Dollar. The vodka mod display. Okay, thank you, Flum. No, let them try this bullshit. We will expose them. We will expose them. And I will enjoy my autographed de Villiers cricket ball. For those of you who came in late, check it out. Funny de Villiers. That is awesome. The de Villiers brothers personalized cricket ball. Oh, how cool is that? There it is, the de Villiers brothers there. And they've autographed it for me. Oh, man, how cool is that? What an amazing gift. That's so cool. What is the cricket ball made of? Is it different baseball? I don't know what the inside of a cricket ball looks like. I've never seen it, Holden, so I don't know the answer. And then I also got this cool gift. This is a limited edition, 200 of these minted of Paul Kruger, 200th anniversary of his birth, 1825 to 2025, from Oranje. 200th anniversary of Paul Kruger. And then on the back, it's got the Oranje statue of Kruger and the little boy, the working boy for Oranje. Then I was also given these cool aircraft tags, which have carabiners right there. And I got a little keychain ring, so I got two of those. It says Oranje And then the other side says Volksstadt. So how cool is that? Pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, Veroshka. Policing our First Amendment, sir. Biden started that. I agree, but Trump is also. How's Trump trying to police it? I don't see. I'll entertain your point, but how? No one's censoring my content from at the behest of the federal government. I lost my business because of illegal censorship by YouTube. Yep. So what is Trump doing? How is Trump trying to test the Constitution? I'm willing to listen to you, but how? Both man level. Yeah, I don't know what the inside of a cricket ball contains. I know baseball, it's wound rubber with the ball in the center and wound rubber around it. Jimmy Kimmel. No one has censored Jimmy Kimmel. What are you talking about? So because they're complaining about Jimmy Kimmel, that's censorship? No, that's very different than clandestinely threatening YouTube, Twitter, Facebook to censor people, and for members of the administration to send emails saying, shut this account down. We don't want them saying that. Trump's not doing that. He's complaining about Jimmy Kimmel because he's an asswipe. That's not censorship. Maybe it's undue political influence. You can make that argument, but it's not censorship. It's not a violation of the First Amendment, not even remotely. Jimmy Kimmel's an asshat. Anybody listens to him is a fool. The guy is dumber than a box of rocks, and that's a compliment to him, actually. Trump has took no action against Kimmel. None. Yes, there is stitching on the cricket ball. Jimmy Kimmel hasn't been fired. What are you talking about? That was a decision taken by his network. Trump didn't get him fired. And even if he got him fired, that's not a violation of the First Amendment. No. Okay, I don't think people understand what the Constitution is. The Constitution is there to protect us from the government. It guarantees the government will not try to abrogate our natural God-given rights. The right to keep and bear arms, the right to free speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of worship, freedom of association. Jimmy Kimmel is welcome to associate with who he wants, to say what he wants, as long as he doesn't incite violence. The fact he got fired was a decision by ABC or whatever network he's on. Sarah Silverman, she's a wackadoodle too. That woman is so rude and disgusting. Yeah, so I guess you think it's okay for Jimmy Kimmel to make, threats against Trump like that? He's lucky that Secret Service isn't. I'm drinking iced tea. I bet you thought it was like Bronfine. It's iced tea, man. Trump is not the government. What are you talking about? The government is 2.1 million federal workers, 1.3 million active duty military, 600,000 National Guard and reservists, and millions of contractors. That's the government, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president. He's the chief executive, and he leads the executive branch. That's what he is. Oh, there's a lot of them this morning, Heinrich. It does look like whiskey, doesn't it? But it's iced tea that's been watered down by melted ice. People don't understand separation of powers. This country has failed its citizens by dropping civics from the curriculum. Many people, politically science, are functionally illiterate in America, and financially, people are functionally illiterate in this country. It's sad. What do you mean? There's a seam on the outside. Cricket balls have a seam on the outside so they can grip it, just like baseballs, except the seams are different. Our seams run a different angle, but these run right around the center. So you put your hands on the cricket ball and bowl it. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know what's on the inside. I've never taken one apart. What's with the fascination with the cricket ball all of a sudden? There's William Carlson. Good to see him on the ice. I hope he stays healthy. Friday night around 11:19, Frontier Airlines Airbus bound for Los Angeles killed a person. Oh, wow. Why was a person on runway 17 Lima? That's crazy. I hadn't heard that story. Social media companies are pushing through the left narrative and allowing hate to spread so it can divide and conquer. Yep. There's a cork on the inside. Okay, Johan. For baseball, it's a rubber ball, a little tiny rubber ball on the inside, and wrapped around with black elastic rubber bands. Like, oh, nice save. Vegas had a chance to score. Uh-oh. Now they got a fight breaking out. It was a needless push of the goalie there. Yes, they manipulate the ball with the seams. Exactly. Just like baseball. When I was a pitcher for baseball, you have a two-seam fastball. You take those two fingers on the seams. I also was able to manipulate the ball, the curved ball, using the seams to spin it. Besides that, dude, there's no red spots in the engine today. Okay. Yeah, I guess so, except it's different. A lot bigger. Looks like brandy. No, it's just iced tea, guys. Here it is right here. That lid wasn't very tight. Dante says hi. Hey, Dante, how you doing, buddy? What do you want to hear, Dante? What song do you want to hear? Tell me what song you want to hear, Dante. Why is everyone blaming Biden for everything? No. The Biden regime violated federal law and the Constitution on a serial basis. Number one, when an illegal alien or when someone comes to America port of call, whether it's an airport or a seaport, and they claim asylum at a port, you must detain them. They must go in detention. Ask the South African who came here in August last year. He's been in jail since August. Until an immigration judge hears your case, you stay in detention. Biden let millions of people flood in this country illegally and on a promise they would appear in court, and almost none of them showed up in court. So over 10 million people illegally allowed to enter this country, flooded our nation to divide this nation. That is not the same as the Trump administration. It's a Biden regime. I've actually said the Trump regime on more than one occasion. So it's not the same thing. You are equating apples with oranges, but you're I don't think you're trolling. I think you actually believe what you're saying. So I'm going to keep entertaining. When you say Biden regime, okay, why is it? Well, we're blaming Biden for inflation because he came in office. His stupid unicorns and rainbows, failed green energy policy drove up energy prices by forcing speculation in the energy market and futures, and undermined drilling in the Caribbean and in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and thereby crimping America's economic prosperity. He once again suspended the Keystone XL pipeline, which is critically important for Canada and the United States. He also failed to take decisive action when Myanmar military overthrew its government 9 days after he became president. He sat around and did nothing when the Russians moved 70,000 troops to Ukraine and allowed that to metastasize into war, and then he fueled a war. I could go on for hours about what the Biden regime did. They colluded, they cajoled, they coerced tech companies to silence people who didn't say what they wanted. Yeah, they also stole elections, and we could go on and on with this, and there's evidence of everything I say. I like what Alan said there. No, that's why I said I don't think you're trolling. I think you're actually asking questions. You actually believe what you're saying. So that's why I'm entertaining it, because we've had several trolls in here tonight. So it's a difficult time when trolls show up if you've got real questions in their country. You're welcome to ask your questions. Why not? There's a big difference between what Biden did and what Trump is doing. And this is not a defense of Trump. It's a defense of the truth. I have plenty of issues with the Trump administration, and I'm very vocal about them, not least of which was the way they executed this war against Iran. I would have done it very differently, but then I'm not the Secretary of War, so, or the Central Command Commander. Third rock from the sun, Benoni or Bunksburg. You mean Brockpan? Anyway, so yeah, so are they on a power play now? 2-2 with 9 minutes left in the second period. And Anaheim is, I hate those orange uniforms. They look bizarre. I don't want, Anaheim used to have really cool colors of purple and blue, and they switched this stupid orange color. Look retarded. It used to be the Mighty Ducks too. Made a whole Disney movie about them. Disney started the franchise. And now they just look retarded in these stupid uniforms. Even more so when you can. There's a fight right in front of the net. Who's pushing here? Oh, now everybody's crowding in there. Well, there's no love lost between Anaheim and Vegas. There's definitely. I thought it was just L.A. and Vegas. What's Faithful Farmer laughing about? Tense? What's tense, Dwayne Fun here? Who's tense? Tongo was a disaster, and ironically and sadly, I'm the person that got those activities going. Niger, as security cooperation officer, I established Office of Security Cooperation in Niamey, and that happened a few years after I left there. It was a consequence of missions that I got sorted out for Niger. Tongo was unnecessary, but they should not have been out there operating in the fashion they're operating without air support. Faithful Farmer says, yeah, the uniform is awful. It's awful. It's a horrible uniform. It looks like pumpkin, like they're wearing pumpkins. Oh, so Trump went off on Truth Social. Let's go see what he said. What is this? FBI opens criminal investigation. Oh, shoot. FBI opens criminal investigation for Chuck Schumer. Is that right? That can't be right. Oh, no, I've cited Democrats. All right. What does Trump have to say? I don't see anything about the media. Trump's got a lot of I love me stuff on here. It's funny. I don't see anything from Trump. I love Justice Neil Gorsuch. He's a really smart and good man, but he voted against me in our country on tariffs. A devastating move. Oh, is this because of tariffs again? Huh. How do I reconcile this? So bad and hurtful for our country. I likewise always like respect Amy Care Bear, but same thing with her. They were appointed by me, and yet have hurt our country so bad. I do not believe they meant to do so, but the decision on tariffs costs Americans. Oh, that's old news. He's talking about today. What else? Exactly. I love this cartoon. If tariffs don't work, why are 170 other countries tariffing the United States? 100%. Yep. I don't see where he went off. Seditious 6. Imagine having tried to hide the military strategy of Democrats because they would leak it to the enemy. Well, they've always done that. Yep. Requiring ID does not suppress voting. It suppresses Democrat cheating. My ideal Supreme Court, 9 Clarence Thomases. That's hilarious. A lot of cartoons on this channel today. Crazy. I don't see what he said. How did he go off? I don't miss that entirely. Why are Mark Feldman and Arctic arguing? Knock it off. Why not says, I'm just seeing which your perspective, sir. I've always voted Republican. I don't know. Sometimes when the Republican Party itself has been hijacked. Well, why not? You vote for whoever you want to. You vote for the Green Party, the Constitution Party, Libertarians, the Democrats, Republicans. That's your choice. That's your vote. As long as you're a lawful citizen, you're registered to vote, vote for where you want to vote. I vote for the best candidate. Unfortunately, that's rarely a Democrat, so I have no compunction about voting for Republicans. But I'm not thrilled with the Republican Party. It's just as devious and underhanded as anyone else. So if you're trying to deuce out whether I'm some Republican operative, you're not. I'm not even remotely Republican operative. The Republican Party screwed me in a state election. They're a bunch of lying SOBs. So did they score? No. Anyway. Art Queen says good night. Good night, Art Queen. Nice to have seen you in person today. Thanks for coming to the meet and greet. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So Ronald Reagan, who was one of the greatest presidents in history, gave amnesty to 3 million criminal alien invaders in the 1980s. That started the bullshit that we're seeing now in the flood of Spanish into our country to bifurcate the society. Reagan did that. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you. Is that what was, James? Is that what was on his thing? I didn't see that. Okay. Anyway, up another fight, second period. Anyway, so that's what's on tap. Tomorrow afternoon, I fly back to Pennsylvania, and we're back on schedule. So I'll be dealing with emails and things as the week progresses and setting up more interviews. So got lots going on here, folks. It's election season in South Africa. November 4th is the election. November 3rd in America, but my primary is on the 19th at IDC. And lie again if I push back into I don't know what he's talking about Fox News, but I told you a long time ago Fox News is not legitimate either. MS Now, CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox News, they're all in the tank for different reasons, and none of them are honest or objective. Some of them actually have some real newsmen. Oh, damn, puck bounced around in front of the net. Vegas has got a lot of pressure on here, but now it's out of the zone. It's unfortunate. Look like they were going to score again, but they didn't. I've told you this all along. It was obvious to me in 2016 that Fox was far from fair and balanced. They used to claim they were fair and balanced. They were in the tank for Trump when I was going to vote for Ted Cruz, and they were in the tank for Trump. In 2016, gave him $1 billion of free advertising by constantly dropping everyone else and covering Trump's speeches everywhere. And that's not pro or anti-Trump. It's a statement of fact. And then they turned on Trump in 2020, and because it suited their desire to make money. And so you can't trust them for a second. They have some. Molly Shannon's a good journalist there. The guy it's in Los Angeles that does the evening one in Los Angeles. I can't think of his name right now. Brett Baer used to be good, but even he's in the tank now. I don't even watch him. I'm just worried the current Republican Party of the current administration is kind of testing our Constitution. I don't. Well, thank you. Why not? But I don't see how they're testing the Constitution. You haven't given me a concrete example. The example you gave me was you're claiming that Trump was violating the Constitution because he got Jimmy Kimmel fired. That's not a violation of the Constitution. You may not like it. It may be impolite, but it's not a violation of the Constitution. However, threatening tech companies, if they don't censor American speech that the Biden administration doesn't like, is a violation of the First Amendment. Good night, Candace. You're very welcome. Thank you. Low IQ Hakeem Jeffries. Where is this at in this Truth Social? I'm not seeing any of this. It must be before all these cartoons. Okay, these are from 4 hours ago. I gotta go find all this stuff. Boy, Trump is, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of crap posted in the last few hours. 4 hours ago, he must have posted at least like 100 freaking things here. Still not there yet. Okay, these are not Trump. These are all repostings by Trump. Still not seeing anything by Trump. These are all Trump repostings so far. Oh, here it is. You could listen to Fox News all day long, devour, but then you hear sleaze bag. Yep. Okay, I found it. It's mixed in with some of these cartoons further down here. Okay, there you go. You don't have to keep typing it. I found it. All federal agents must buy American, no excuses. Palestinian Chuck Schumer is hiring Eric Holder. What? This is too much to even keep track of. Reflecting pool renovation. Biden spent $355 million in 3.5 years. Trump spent $2 million in 1 week. And they're complaining it was no compete contract. What did Jim Comey say?
You were back in the middle of a political firestorm.
Yeah, for walking on the beach with my wife. So I don't know how we ended up here. It never occurred to me.
Walking on the beach with my wife. What a disingenuous piece of human sleaze that guy is. What a sleazy piece of crap he is. Oh, yeah. Trump was in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was in Home Alone 2. Yeah. Trump was, they love Trump. Hollywood loved Trump. That's why he got The Apprentice show until he ran for president. Then they turned on him. Okay, let's see what else he got. Jim Kobe.
That it was any kind of controversial thing, but that's the time we live in.
So take me back to the walk on the beach.
We were walking on the beach. We went to the beach to prepare for this week, which was the launch of my book, and to think about the book and to prepare to answer questions about it. And we were walking back towards the road, and we saw in the sand someone had arranged shells with numbers. And Patrice, my wife, said, "Why would someone put an address in the sand?" And I said, "I don't know." We stood over it, and I said, "I think it's some kind of like political message." She said, 86, when I was a server, she did a lot of work in restaurants, meant to remove an item from the menu when you ran out of ingredients. And I said, well, to me, as a kid, it always meant to leave a place, to ditch a place. I said, that's really clever. So then she said, you should take a picture of that. And I did. Then I posted it on my Instagram account and thought nothing more of it until I heard through her that
this piece of crap takes us for fools. I can't wait to see him in a prison jumpsuit. What a piece of shit. He is a disgusting fucking piece of human shit. What a piece of sludge James Comey is. This piece of shit lied to the president of the United States so he could keep his job and said, you're not the subject of investigation. And then this scumbag used the FBI to pervert the means of justice. He should have been in prison a long time ago. He's a perjurer. He's a liar. He's a criminal. He violated the First Amendment and he betrayed America's trust. Yeah, why did he say it was a political message? Exactly. Yes, it was a political message because in high school, that's how we decide to leave a room. What a piece of crap. Oh, I want this guy in prison so badly. I can taste it. Here's this other moron, Colbert. Stephen, what does Colbert do?
Here, but you is this Instagram?
Oh, it's Comey again.
You grammed this. You were walking on the beach. What happened? You were walking on the beach. And you saw this on the beach?
Yeah, my wife and I, Patrice, were walking on the beach and saw those numbers and shells on the beach.
You didn't do this. Somebody else did.
Yeah, somebody else did it. We were on a walk preparing for this week.
Right.
Roll out of my book.
Yeah.
She looked at it and said, why'd someone put their address in the sand?
This guy's a piece of filth. Wow. What an absolute piece of filth. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Comey, he takes us for suckers. Such an ass. Such an absolute asshat. Anyway, he'll get his. And he still posted it. Why would you post such a thing? Yeah. Now, well, Jeff Sessions, his cabinet the first time around was stupid. He picked some real losers. Jeff Sessions is one of them. He recused himself for no reason whatsoever and then let the Justice Department run away with this stupid Russia hoax. Yes, Comey, Fauci, and Milley all need jumpsuits. Yep. Nobody held accountable for the Russian hoax. That's right. They damaged U.S. reputation. They damaged our foreign policy. They wasted tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars investigating a total scam. Hillary Clinton's not in prison. Unfortunately, John McCain is dead, so he can't pay a price for his crimes against this country and his treason. Yep. No, it's unbelievable. McCain is the one that gave the FBI the trumped up bogus report that was all fiction. He fell for it hook, line, and sinker because he hated Trump. And that's why Trump was mean to him. Exactly, faithful farmer. I don't like Trump, but Comey needs to be put in jail for the 8647 thing. That was a clear incitement to violence against the president. It was a threat to his life. He should go to jail for it. It's a felony act. Republican 28, Trump 28. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Why not? Trump is done. This is it. He can't run for president again. It's all over for him. He can serve in the Supreme Court. He can run for Congress. He can be vice president, but he can no longer be president again. Yeah, no one was ever held accountable for Benghazi either. Hillary Clinton. Why don't we just get over it? Some people died. Wow, the arrogance of that woman. You mean like Vince Foster? Some people died? He let the DOJ go after our own, Michael Flynn. You're talking about Jeff Sessions. Yes, yes. But General Flynn set himself up for that. General Flynn was insubordinate when he was the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. He was insubordinate to Obama, and they never forgot that. So they were going to get his scalp eventually, and they got it. It was going to come one way or another. And what happened to Flynn was an abuse of authority, and it was wrong, and people should be in prison for the crimes against General Flynn. But General Flynn had it coming from their perspective. He set himself up. He was insubordinate to the President of the United States, and it was up. Anaheim just scored, damn it, on a power play. 3-2 Anaheim. Comey's going to jail. I wish. Anyway. I need to get over before Trump stops running. Why? Because he messed up paperwork on the arms deal with the Golf Coordination Council? Hold, what are you responding to? What are you responding to? No, Red John, I haven't thought about what I'll be doing Independence Day. I haven't thought about that at all. That's a good question. I need to think about that, though. Maybe I'll go somewhere for Independence Day. Certainly not New York. It's not safe to go there anymore. Times Square is a cesspool. Yep. And New York is overrun with criminal alien invaders who are protected while Americans arrest. Oh, you're talking about no. That's not what I'm talking about. He was insubordinate because he contradicted. He was correct, but it was inappropriate for him as the director of DIA to contradict the president of the United States. He intentionally did it to harm Obama. And Obama was wrong because Obama lied, but it's not his place to intentionally go out there and expose Obama's lies. It was insubordinate. That's not the role of the military to play in politics. That's what he did. No, he wasn't fired. He finished his term as director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, but the Obama people never forgot. Nobody knows how many people applied for the program except the U.S. government. They've not released anything. We've all had wild guesses, some of it based on numbers and facts, but nobody knows. Probably a few 100,000 people at least have applied. And that's why people aren't getting out. They keep screaming about getting out, but they're not getting out because there's a lot of people ahead of them. No. See, now, why not? You're exposing yourself. Republicans tend to talk about what about. Now, that is the biggest bullshit ever. That's what you've been doing here. All night long, you've been doing whataboutisms. That's what Democrats do. Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I opposed Trump in his first run for office. I said that he's not a Republican. He supports abortion. In the past, he has been buddy-buddy with Democrats in power, particularly mayors of New York. I said all that. But an honest assessment of the first four-year term of Donald Trump as a Republican, he was the single most conservative one-term president in the history of the Republic. And that's a statement of fact. That's an absolute statement of fact. Yep. Yeah, I think Rubio's his favorite, not J.D. Vance. Yeah, Zoran the Moron. I can't go to New York. It's terrible. Alrighty, guys, that's an hour and a half. It's 11:30 here on the East Coast of the United States. Time for me to wrap it up here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll update you. And again, Alex Noon will be interviewing me tomorrow if things go well, okay? All right, that's going to be it. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Thanks for your support, and I will catch you. Oh, we got a penalty on Vegas. That's messed up. And thanks a lot. Be sure to hit the like button. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to all the South Africans who live in Florida who I spent time with this weekend. Thank you for your time. It was a distinct pleasure. Thank you for your special gifts. I'm going to try to turn off that industrial air conditioning, lower it. Mandy, have a good night. Everybody be well. Cheers. Thanks, guys.